Hello, I am Lylena Yang, the fashion designer behind Lylena Coutour. I am excited to announce I am collaborating with 3 other fashion designers, Meng Tao and Sheng Tao of Coutour Fusion, and Cecil Moore of Cecil Menswear.
Hi, I am Mong Tao.
Hi, and I'm Sheng Tao.
We are the designers for Hill Tribe Fusion.
Hi, I am Shiso from Shiso's Menwear.
Together,
Together we are Collective Vision. Collective Vision is a never done before virtual fashion design competition. We have been working hard on creating unique challenges and amazing prizes for our winners. I would love to share more, but you'll just have to stay tuned for more updates to come very soon.
Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram as Collective Vision Fashion for updates and details about challenges.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? We are super excited here today. What do you know?
Hi.
Let me start. Let me introduce. Hello, everyone. She's all from Hmong Talk. This is the Halloween edition. As you can see, we're super excited and it's super dressed up, and we are excited. Today's topic is going to be fashion.
Fashion.
Joining me below is my beautiful co-host. And then, please introduce yourself. Our guests, who are they? Please introduce yourself.
Hill Tribe Fusion, Mong and Sheng Tao. Hi.
I'm Lylena Hmong Couture.
Welcome, ladies.
Yes. We are super excited today. Yes. Oh my goodness. We are gonna start this first half to talk about fashion. We are super excited. The topic is gonna be open about fashion in general. It's gonna be wow. Where do we start nowadays with fashion? Am I fashionable?
Your hair is. Your hair is fashionable.
So, ladies, I just want to open it up with to start with Hmong fashion. I mean, what is it today's fashion? Is it what's going on here with the Hmong fashion, the Hmong inspired fashion, traditional fashion? Please elaborate. We have 2 veteran, amazing designers here with us. Please, let's start with one. Why don't you share? Go ahead.
Well, what is Hmong inspired fashion? First of all, what is that?
well, I think anything you take in terms of from your culture, like the traditional fabric, textile, motif, and then remake it or redesign it into more of a modern, has Hmong people Mika version of clothing. And I mean, even some of the traditional outfits, right? I think they're more Hmong inspired rather than like traditionally used, even though they have the traditional fabrics and everything. It's like in a little.
You mean the new modern?
Yeah, the new modern. You see them like in the heart shape, what we call the strapless tops, with the skirts. I'm really, that's not traditional. That's more, inspired, because they use all the traditional fabric, but the design is modern.
And then now these days, you can't tell like before the traditional dresses. You can tell which clan or which area someone came from. But now everything's kind of like mixed together, whatever you like. And so it's kind of like a mismatch of everything together now.
Yeah, it's a mismatch. You can't really tell what region or what part of the village or what clan you are anymore, because people buy what they like and then they make a traditional outfit out of it. It's no longer you hand sew on your own. You follow this tradition, what your mom tells you to do or what your mother-in-law tells you to create for your clan. It's no longer like that anymore.
Okay. So, ladies, before we move forward, I think what we have on right now, our pre-Halloween edition, is Halloween fashion, right? Are you guys in character tonight? What are you ladies? I can tell you guys right now, I've just found out I'm a baseball catcher.
Hold on. Before you do that, you know what? Harry, I'm gonna start with something right here since you said. Type in the comment what our costume is, please, for those who are engaging in here. Type in the comments what we are. Please do type. But carry on. We'll get back to that question
Yeah,
while they
we'll come
type.
back to that. Yep.
Yes. We'll carry on with the conversation.
So Hmong inspired basically means that as long as you have the textiles, the colors, the fabric customized into your design, that's basically Hmong inspired. Is that correct?
Yes, but you're not following the traditional, like how they make the traditional outfit, where they do the hand pleating and stuff. It's more, the design is more modern. The design is no longer considered Hmong, because typically the Hmong shirt is more like a jacket or like a shirt that opens up, almost kimono like, right? The one size pretty much fits all.
Right.
The same thing with the skirt. It's all pleated and it's one size fit all, and then they have the belt and the sleeve, the shell, the apron that covers, where the opening is in front. That's more of a traditional design. Now it's, people, sometimes I think they follow, like, they make it more Chinese where it comes here. I know the Vietnamese styles that come here, but people have changed it to make it look more, they have add zippers and
like one arm, one sleeve. And, yeah, it's much more modern.
Yeah, it's much more now like the traditional following style. And the thing is, like, every region has slightly different designs, so you can't say what's really, like Hmong. They can't really say what's really traditional, because every region, like the Vietnamese ones are, the Hmong are different, the Chinese ones are different, the one in Laos are different, and then they, Hmong flower is slightly different from even Hmong, Hmong wing.
Well, the video that was airing before we came on, I mean, you ladies, I have to say, you ladies are just beyond amazing with your runway outfits. You ladies are just amazing. All of you three ladies. I'm just like, wow, I've never seen anything like that before in like modern Moncanyona, right? And I have to like, man, that was beautiful. Every single outfit was just beautiful. So great job.
Yeah. Thanks.
Hopefully we'll see that in like a Vogue magazine one day. Somebody wearing it. I think what has been the most, when you guys are trying to incorporate Hmong inspired designs into your outfit, what's most challenging? I'm sure it's challenging, right? Like trying to create something that's not already out there, trying to create something that people will want to wear, that's eye-catching. What do you guys find most challenging? This question is for all you three.
Well, I will start. It's the market for it, because a designer, you spend so much time and effort to make that dress, right? Unfortunately, like sometimes, like the mall market, you don't have the people willing to buy at the price point you're willing to do, because it's a designer piece. You have to go outside of the mall market sometimes to get what you want, and then other times, like Hmong people, like they just don't understand what you're doing with it.
Especially the elder people.
Yeah, they don't understand what you do with it. And if you try to go to like the, where the Hmong New Year and stuff, and you try to sell stuff there, right? They're, like mainly a lot of people there just to buy the Hmong
traditional
outfits, right? They're not really, they like your stuff, right? But the thing is, they're not there to buy it, right? We find it better to do it online, where it's open to more people, and have people contact us for customize the design, because it's hard to find a market that's willing to it's starting to grow. The market's starting to grow, but the thing is, currently the market is not there where it can support you.
I think just to carry on with the market, what Hmong was saying also is, as a designer, you're first coming out, you really have to figure out what your niche is, meaning like what is your target group, and as a designer, how do you stand out from other designers out there? What makes your items stand out? Like when you look at Hill Tribe, those pieces are Hill Tribe's pieces. And I'm hoping when you look at mine, you can obviously tell my pieces are Lylena Hmong Couture, not anybody else's. And just going back to your first question about like what is Hmong inspired, and for me, when I design my pieces, I don't want to use ready-made Hmong textiles because I understand how hard it is to make those traditional pieces. And for me to go in and cut those up and piece them in a different way that it wasn't meant to be, I feel like I'm destroying something really precious because I feel like now it's so much harder to find handmade traditional pieces now. So for me, I'd rather go, and I know there are like prints out there and ready-made trim that's all machine done, and it's amazing that that's available out there for emerging artists and designers to use those pieces. And so I don't want to use those too. I want to leave those pieces over there for other emerging designers to do that. And to stand apart from that, I want to do something completely different where it's definitely one of a kind. And I think that's my niche. It's definitely doing something one of a kind. So that's why I've branched off into beading and sequins and making things a little bit more elegant and detailed and more couture.
Okay. Do you, Shishisa, you do, oh, go ahead.
But every designer has like Lylena, like me and Shane. We like to use call it unconventional materials. We like to find materials and incorporate it into our design. Lylena is much more elegant. Every designer has their own vision of what they want, the Hmong inspired to be. So everything is slightly different. It depends on the background and how the designer wants to showcase their designs. Because we see young designers, right? And sometimes you find something that's super elegant in their clothing, and we see some people who do much more experimental work. It's just a matter of, you know, it's hard to get out there sometimes to be noticed because there's so much noise. There's other designers, not just Hmong designers. There's Thai designers. There's other designers that are out there too that you have to compete with at the same time.
Shishisa, you do menswear, you design too. What's your challenge? What has your challenge been?
Really taking something that of culture of Hmong and just true originality is key in my design. Uniqueness is one of them too, and very classy looking in some of these pieces. But the first one's got to be originality, and sometimes it just takes me quite a while to think of an idea that's so unique and original. I'm like, wow, this is going to be a good piece because it's unique, but it's fashion forward. So that would definitely be a challenge for me.
Okay. So I wish I was a fashion designer. I'm just not crafty with that at all. But where do you guys find your inspiration when there's a design that comes into your head, right? Where you guys like, oh my gosh, that's it. Where do you find your inspiration? Do you guys look at other designers or do you guys focus on something? What is that spark that you guys always look for to help you design?
For me, my line, I'm very into evening wear, and that's where I tend to stick to. That's what I'm most comfortable with, and what most easily comes to me. Like when I start sketching ideas, I feel like I always gravitate towards evening gowns, and so a lot of my idols are designers who design couture evening gowns. So I tend to gravitate towards that, and I like silhouettes that are clean and classy that are still going to be in style years from now. I want my clients to be able to rewear their pieces. I don't want it to be just, one time done and then, it's out of fashion within, the next season. So, that's my inspiration. That, and then also I'm putting in Hmong motifs. And most recently, I've been using a lot of the elephant foot, but I kind of want to go into more of the men's motifs. And the men's motifs are usually the more angular motifs, not so much of the round, like elephant foots or the snails or the ram's head, not so much of those motifs, but more of the angular ones, like the mountains.
Oh, okay. Okay. And the rest of you?
Well, I think ours is fantasy.
Yeah, we're more fancy because originally we didn't go to school for fine arts or fashion. we actually went to business school, right? And you went for like biotechnology, right? Science, right? So
Wow.
yeah, so the thing is,
We're kind of we're unconventional, non-traditional
no,
designers. We started, as you can tell by our hair, we started designing at
anime
conventions.
conventions, oh,
and we said at the same time.
because they're sisters. So this is what like kind of how you started out, because that's how we did. And at anime conventions, right, a lot of cosplayers or the costume people who are making clothes for their favorite characters, right, they don't use traditional materials. They don't. Sometimes it's what we found at the thrift store, and you cut it up and make it into your costume. Other times people will find the perfect material, cut and sew, and make their perfect costume. And that, an anime convention, that they all love their character, right? They're the fandom. They don't care how, whatever you throw on, right? You still look like that character. You look similar.
You believe in
your character,
right?
and you wear enough similar that everybody loves you for going out there to make it because you believe in that character. You love that character, right? It's about the love of that character or that manga, right? And so it doesn't matter, at what skill level you are, as long as if you had the idea for it, you created it, right? Everybody appreciate it. So it's an open. I guess it's an open concept that we started with, and
so since our background is anime, you can tell the influence in our designs. Like I always like to make really big headpieces, and it's all based on being at the anime conventions, or what inspired me at the anime conventions.
And it's it's more unique at the anime convention is because the primary target are teens to early 20s. The more unique the piece, the more they want it. It's standing out from your crowd, even though you guys are all the same character. What little piece that you have, a little extra detail, makes the other ones go like, "Wow, you have that."
But we have matured as designers.
Yeah,
we don't really do much anime inspired anymore. But I mean, you can still see it in our designs. But we've matured as designers. You can tell.
But we still have in our like fashion show. It's about show. It's about wow, what is that?
Well, I think we can see it in your costumes tonight. I have to ask, have you guys ever been to Comic Con?
No.
Where all the anime?
But we've been to like the two other major ones.
We've been to like
okay.
We went to Seattle's con. Yeah, so we haven't gone to like the central ones or the East Coast ones. There's some big ones out there too, but it's just location.
Ah, okay. Wow, that's so cool. I think it's always so cool how someone can it's so admirable how someone can go to like for example a thrift store, right? And they can go and grab like any outfit, which I'm sure you ladies done before, and just bring it home and just turn it into like something totally different. That is just mind blowing, because to me I just can't do anything like that. So it's just so mind blowing. But I think that's why. Do you guys think that's why fashion is so important, because it really defines a person, right? Like you can go to the store and get an outfit and bring it home and design it into something else that defines you. Do you guys think that fashion is down at the end of the day? Do you guys think fashion is really what that is all about identity?
I think it's a part of it. People use it as a part of identity or to express themselves. I mean, other time people have used clothing and stuff to downplay or use it as a group identity, like uniforms. So it's a part of it. It's not everything, but it's a part of it.
I mean, people see what you're wearing. That's the first thing that they see. So
yeah,
so
that's very true.
Your appearance.
Yeah, like if you're going to a big event where I'm wearing Lylena Hmong Coutour dress.
Like the longest time when she went to like she went to like castings for fashion. She used to wear like this pink wig or colored wig, right? And a lot of people, like for the longest time, looked at her when she wore her, she wore her natural hair. They're like, what happened to your color hair?
This is how.
Yeah, like this is my real hair. They're like, really? You have black hair? Where's the color hair?
How long does it take for you ladies to make one outfit? Let's just say for like a fashion show, like we just saw in the previous video, right? How long does it take for you guys to come up with a sketch? Because I'm sure every runway that you guys go to, you guys want to bring something fresh, maybe? Am I, or no?
Well, for me, when I plan to show my line on a runway, and especially if I want to show a new line, it usually takes me about a year just to say to create between 6 to 12 different
Wow.
pieces. Just because for me, I want it to be a really cohesive line. So when you look at my line, you can see that it flows together, it belongs together. I think like my mind just works that way, where I need that cohesiveness, and so yeah, it does take a while, and just the beating itself can take even longer. So it really depends on, when I commit to a show and how much time I have, then I'll figure out how many pieces I can realistically make, and usually narrow down my sketches from 24 to like maybe 6.
For me,
Wow.
yeah,
That's a lot of patience.
yeah, I mean, yes, a lot of hand beating and a lot of hand work. But me and Shay, it depends on what show we're gonna do. My sister and I, we used to do mainstream fashion shows, and then we used to do Lolita shows. So it just depends on because we already created all Lolita pieces ahead of time, and so we would just get the models and put them onto the outfits that's already created. For like the mainstream fashion show, it depends on how avant-garde or what kind of material we're going to use. Like for me, depending on the material or what I want to showcase, right? Material has to fit the idea of the dress I want. So I won't make a dress if I find the material. So that can be like it'll take me a week, it may take me months or a year to find the material to envision that dress. So once I get it, then the design comes fast to me, and I just sew within a week or two because I don't do a lot of the beading detail that Lylena does. Mine's more, it's just the dress design. Because like Lolita is very ornate and you have to put a lot of extra bows and fluff and a lot of stuff, right? When I try to do a mainstream design, I try to minimize the design because like you put Hmong print on a modern design, sometimes Hmong print overwhelms the design, so you have to keep it really simple.
Oh. Did you all four of you guys, did you guys grow up wanting to be designers? Or no?
No.
No?
My kind of like this.
You know what? When I was a little girl, right? And I'm so surprised that I'm not a fashion designer actually, because when I was a little girl, probably in like second, third grade, I wanted to be a fashion designer actually. I remember I would go into my mom's closet and like I remember she had like this beautiful flower flowy skirt that it was always my go-to when I wanted to play dress up. And I'm just surprised that I'm not a designer today. So I'm just like, did you guys grow up wanting to be designers or no?
I definitely did. Yeah. My mom realized that I was a designer or before I did, because I would scratch up all of her magazines, and every time my mom would pull out our traditional Hmong clothes, I always steal like the sash, and I would be like dressing up my sisters. We'd have like mock pageants, and I'd be dressing them up in like evening gowns and then bathing suits. Yeah, I was always doing something. If I wasn't draping my sisters in fabric, then I was sketching. And it wasn't really until
Oh.
high school, that I realized, this could be a career. So, so that's when I decided that I wanted to pursue it. And I did get a degree in fashion and textiles from UC Davis. And from there, I've just kind of continued to explore what I can do. And I feel like as a designer, you're constantly learning. And as a professional, you should continue to learn your craft and really hone it. And because I feel like you can't, I think that this applies to whatever career path you plan to take. You can't learn everything and know everything. Things are always constantly changing, and you yourself can discover new techniques, for other people and professionals in your field. So I'm constantly learning, always from May and Chang, who have been so generous with their knowledge and time. So I appreciate that so much. And I would love to pay that forward to future designers too. And if they were to have any other questions or if they want to approach me with anything about the design field, I'd love to share my whatever experience I have with them too.
Oh, thank you for that. I think there are so many people out there that wants to design and just don't know where to start.
Like me and Shane, our background's totally different. We actually the weird thing is like we grew up in the Midwest in middle Nebraska, so we were really already so much different. But our parents have always, our dad always emphasized education, right? And but he wanted the girl, he wanted us, the three careers that Asian people should have: be a doctor, a teacher, or be a teacher, or be an engineer, right? So those are
engineer for the boys.
yeah,
right.
engineer for a boy, but and the other option you're saying, like we don't care for those three. So like Shane decided she kind of originally wanted to go in science a little bit more, and I want to be in business. And my parents go, like, okay, they're like, oh, okay, everybody needs a secretary. They're like, okay, don't see assistant secretary, you'll be fine, right? So, but the thing is, even though they're practical, I mean, Hmong parents are really practical. If you had those kind of practical people, kind of parents, and our parents are like that. But the thing is, in my family, everybody's incredibly artistic. Like one of my older brother, he drafted, one of the spaceships. The other one created like a small table. One actually, he did like he.
They were really good artists.
They're really good artists. They won all their awards at the county fair and stuff like that.
Awards at the county
fair and all that stuff. But like my dad, even when we bring our pictures to my dad will look at it and it's like, your eyes off. It's not, it's not a lie.
Your eyes off?
He's a very practical person. He'll look at our artwork and tell us, he'll critique it. And, it's like, oh, it's slightly off, but
it's good, but it's not that good. Yeah.
But
it's just
but the thing is, right, they didn't really follow the, like, oh, you want to be, a fashion designer or artist. They didn't believe in that. They always say you have to have something practical if you're going to be an artist, you have to have something practical. So me and my sister, we work practical jobs.
Yeah, we have office
jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's, like a lot of, and we always go back to art. It's never been even if we can't do fashion designing, me and my sister make accessory, we'll draw, we'll paint, we'll do something else in the art field. So it's, it's kind of like a passion that never had gone away. Even my brothers, even though, one became a statistician, he works in the office at Kaiser, he still does like art things, it's like, you look at his stuff, right, and it's still very artistic, but it's very like very precise and logical kind of stuff that he's doing. And so I think it's always been our background not fashion design, but to be an art, and yeah, and to do an expression, because I think for us, right, sometimes fashion is an expression of our art versus, are we making practical clothes? Not really, but it's expression art, and we want to put that expression out there. We want to.
I think for us, we're trying to make wearable art.
Yeah, and we're trying to like push some ideas into the Hmong community about the boundary of clothing and textile, of what what our clothes should be and what it will be towards the future. Well, I'm doing that. I don't know about Shane, but
I'm concentrating on the headpieces.
Maybe she's more practical, but that's for us. That's how we vision fashion. Sometimes we don't get fashion like Lylena or wearable, but we try to, have people have a conversation, think about it, because a lot of people don't think about what you wear.
They don't unless it's on them, right? Then they're like, oh. It's like, yeah, but do you always want to be a fashion designer, Shiso?
No, for a lot of people that doesn't know, I did not go to school for that, nor did it come in my path. I found a pleasure of wanting it for myself and not knowing that it was I will become it. And a lot of people don't know that I am actually a really dirty grease monkey, aka a mechanic. That's what they call us, a grease monkey.
Mm-hmm.
From at night, from day, a grease monkey mechanic. At night, sewing a sewing machine as a fashion designer. So that you see the two different, perspective and career. But yeah, I did not have that in my mind. So absolutely no. And the thing I create are, again, the last piece I made was a watch, which was, again, is very unique to me. It's originality, and it's I call it the Hmong time watch for the for the sarcastic and very untimely mannered individual. I mean, I fixed the solution, but the really key thing is the design of it, having it looking at the Hmong flute as the hour and the minute hand. So just imagine that. That was, again, the idea of uniqueness, originality, and very classy. I feel like that was a great piece that I made. It's been a good seller.
That's good. Well, you know what I want to know? I want to know whoever has bought your watch. I want to know if they are still running on Hmong time. Okay, so if you purchased one of Shiso's watch, please let us know if it's helped you at all with your Hmong time, please. Type that in the comment, please.
Yeah, put that in the comments. We are gonna take a quick little bit of a minute break here. Again, we are gonna be accepting comments at the end. Please engage, ask us questions. We're gonna ask that at the end. We're gonna run a few minutes of a of time here, of a commercial for y'all to watch, and for our next move that we're working on, a collaboration which we're gonna talk about, and we're super excited about that. And so
Hello designers, welcome to our first Collective Vision Fashion Design Challenge. I am Lylena Yang, the fashion designer behind Lylena Coutour. I am presenting your first challenge. The theme for this challenge is Wicked, Unleash Your Inner Demon. As designers, we are usually creating beautiful garments for special occasions or unique pieces for everyday wear. Rarely do we get the opportunity to create something truly dark and menacing. I would like you to use yourself as your main inspiration. We are always presenting ourselves to the world as good people and usually suppress our inner voice. If you could unleash your inner demon, what would he or she look like? I want to see an unfiltered, unsuppressed, powerfully evil version of yourself. Alright designers, remember the due date is October 31st. I can't wait to see the evil that lies within. Good luck and have fun.
So that was a quick little intro of what we are working on. We are super excited to be working on this, and I'm excited. I am super excited for that. But in the meanwhile, we're all going to talk about that in this half 15 minutes here, and we're going to love to get your questions into as well. And here we go. So with Lylena, with Shang, Mang, tell us more about this, please. Tell us more. I want you guys to start.
More about Collective Vision?
Yes.
Okay, so Collective Vision was really my response to kind of our pandemic right now that we're all in. We're all kind of isolated in our own spaces, and a lot of things have been canceled. Like weddings have been postponed. Prom was canceled for a lot of our seniors, juniors and seniors this year, and Hmong New Year has been canceled. Pageants have been canceled. And so I wanted to provide something for designers out there, because usually that's our bread and butter. You know, when we make wedding dresses or pageant gowns or prom dresses or just fancy dresses for big celebrations and special occasions and events like that, that's our bread and butter as designers. And so with that all gone, we're struggling, especially if that's our main source of income. So I wanted to offer a unique opportunity for the designers out there to come and really showcase their creativity in different challenges that each of our judges will be presenting, and offer them really a worthy prize, for their creations and their creativity. And so, I talked about this with Go Yi, one of my right hand man. She's not here with me today, but and then I reached out to Hill Tribe first to see if they thought this crazy idea was actually something that could happen. And I'm so glad they thought that this would happen and this would be great. So I'm really excited that we are able to present our first challenge today to our designers. I can't wait to see all the entries and all the creativity. And then we reached out to CISO not long after reaching out to Hill Tribe, and we just really wanted his experience and his eye, and just because I feel like he's within the fashion industry, but he's so commercialized that he can offer different insight into that side of the fashion industry.
Like Lylena said, a lot of events had been canceled. Like for me and Hmong, a lot of our fashion shows that we would have been doing this whole year, a lot of events have been canceled. Like we were planning to go back to New York Fashion Week, and then me and Hmong, we were trying to figure out like how can we keep on engaging people, and especially trying to give back to young designers too, who you know, there's no more Hmong New Year's, there's no more pageants, there's like the Fresh Traditions fashion show was actually postponed to the big Hmong fashion show. So we wanted to give young designers an opportunity and like something else, something new. There hasn't been like a virtual event for fashion designers, so I thought this was a really great idea when Lylena brought it up to us.
Yeah, I mean, young designers, right? It's really hard to get yourself out there, especially when you're fresh, and being an older or more experienced designer, right? It gives you a lot more insight, or they can mentor you, or give you the connection. Well, not give you, but to meet people who can give you connections to other shows. Um, and with all the shows being canceled, there's less opportunity out there.
Is this the first time you guys are all collaborating together?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow. So this is definitely going to be a very interesting virtual fashion show. It's going to be a virtual, correct?
It's not
okay.
No,
it's a competition. Competition.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. Competition. Okay. Well, fashion designers, if we have anybody that wants to become a fashion designer, this is your chance.
I think we're hinting.
Bring out the. I don't know.
No, because like Jay, we were designers originally. I mean, we really like art.
We're kind of more crafters.
Yeah, and we really like art, right? And to get into fashion design, like I told Shay, it took me 7 years to really get on the sewing machine, kept sewing to get to the point where I can look at somebody's body and kind of tell the sizing and everything. It took 7 years. So I mean, like when we did our first show, I told my sister I wasn't ready because I thought I didn't have the skill level, and she said, "Be ready." Because the thing is, if you keep thinking you're not ready or you don't want to design it right, you're never going to do it. So, she was the one who did that, and then I go like, "Okay, if you can get me if we can get into your show, I will create it with you." And so that's how we did. And you just have, if you have an idea or if you want to make a dress or do something, you have to do it. You have to get it out there because our first show, me and my sister had no clue. Time management wasn't really good and all that stuff, right? But after that, you have to figure out. You have to know. I mean, time management we gotten a little better, but still, it was the first show was like crazy.
But the fashion design competition, it's for anyone of all levels,
yes.
Even if you're just starting out, or like how me and Mom were, or if you're a seasoned designer, or if you're going to school.
Yeah.
It's for everyone.
It's for everyone. The thing is, like my sister said, when are you going to be ready? You have to go out there and put your foot out there, or you have to first start start. If you don't start, then you won't be on the path, or you won't be able to do the creation that you want to. And I think it's the same thing with a lot of artists, right? You don't want to put your stuff out there, but how would anybody know you have this great idea of design, or or
Right.
how do they know that you have to put yourself out there, you have to start somewhere. And you don't have to, it doesn't, you don't have to be a designer to do our competition. You just have to say, I want to do it. I think this is a great contest. I can do that. I want to make it.
Mm. That's those are very inspiring words. I might have to start sketching something, putting it out there. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. There are times where I have it in my head where I'm like, man, you know what? I can really turn that into something. You know, it's I don't like the way it look, but I can really turn it into something because I love the fabric, right? Or I love the design that's on that. Um, so yeah, watch out for my outfit. It might just show up.
I mean, like ideas. Like I've been, like I made this Hmong inspired jacket with the boutique. That idea has been in my head since I was 12. But the thing is, I never thought I would have the skill level or the chance to do it because I couldn't find the right fabric, or to do the needle work and stuff like that. And that was when I was 12. So that's like, oh my god, that's like over 20 years ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah. But it finally came to to light after after so many years, when I finally when if like the materials and everything finally caught up to what I wanted.
I think the timing was
Yeah,
right.
timing is right. So I mean, you can have ideas. It could be in the back of your head for 10 years, or something may trigger that idea. So I mean, if you truly want to make it, or you have a passion to create it, then do it.
Okay, okay. And when is the deadline again? October 31st, correct?
Yes, so we have two deadlines. The first one will be your initial entry. So the first one would be on October 14th, I believe it was. So if you want to compete in this first challenge, you have to submit required items by the mid-month due date, which is October 14th, if I remember correctly. But so you would need to submit like your work in progress, just so we know that you want to compete in this competition. You have to complete and send in those items in order to be considered for judging by the 31st. So the 31st is the due date where you have to submit your complete outfit with photos, pictures, and videos. So please check our Collective Vision Facebook page for rules and guidelines and our
Okay.
requirements for our entries.
Okay. Awesome. Oh, I'm so excited, especially because it's talking about the inner demon, right? Like now it's your chance to bring that out and be creative and just show a side of you that we've never seen before. She's so I want to see yours. I've never seen your inner demon. So
Yeah, I think
I,
that's what would make it really interesting for our designers, because I feel like I said in the prompt, we're usually creating beautiful pieces. We rarely get to do anything really dark, and it's so perfect for Halloween too.
mhm.
So yeah, I know there are some really creative designers out there who have a dark side. I think everybody has a dark side, but just
Oh
to be
yeah.
able to play off of that and bring it to life would be amazing. So I'm excited to see what everybody creates.
It'll be really fun. Really fun to see all that.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I'm sorry, just another correction. Ashley had pointed out, Ashley's our logistics manager. The mid-month due date is actually October 17th. So I'm sorry, not October 14th, October 17th.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so October 17th, everybody. Wow. So I have to ask something, a term that's been thrown around a lot on social media that I'm asking this for myself. But appropriating clothes, I think that's the term. Like clothes appropriating. What is that exactly? Educate me on that, please. Anybody?
Well, Shay, you probably have more because it talks about culture appropriating. I think that's more what a lot of
I guess
on the
that's
Facebook is.
cultural appropriation, when mainly it has to do with like Western designers taking something,
Minority.
taking like maybe minority textiles or fabric and then incorporating into their fashion, but then they don't give credit or
knowledge
acknowledge where this piece of fabric or where their inspiration came from. So I guess that
yeah,
more like
I mean,
appropriation.
And then there's the other thing of people appreciating it, where they take it right and they create something out of it, but they do acknowledge what what the textile thing is. They appreciate it. I mean, it's a very fine line between culture appropriation and appreciation sometimes,
or inspiration,
and sometimes
it's a very fine line.
Yeah, and we talk about it a lot because we often go like our stuff is people go like, oh, it's a Hmong dress. We go like, no, it's inspired because it's not it's not the traditional. We're not trying to make a traditional. It comes from the inspiration of that fabric, but it's not totally Hmong. Just the fabric itself, but everything else is a modern design. So we also go inspiration. We don't ever say it's totally Hmong.
We don't say this is a Hmong wedding dress.
Yeah.
We say it's Hmong inspired. Yeah,
yes.
Hmong inspired.
Oh, gotcha. Because you do see that a lot, right? Like that being thrown around, like, oh, that's a Hmong dress, or that's a Hmong shirt, or things like that. So yeah, thanks for clearing that, ladies. I've learned
Also,
something.
just to add on top of that too, is I've noticed on our lives, and like a lot of the Hmong vendors who have lives, they've been selling a lot of clothing from the Hmong Vietnam or Hmong Chinese or different countries. And I know just within Laos, just between the different regions, 40, 50 years ago, our clothing was so different. And here in the US, I feel like we mix and match so much that we're kind of losing the identity of where that garment came from. So I feel like it's really important you understand what you're putting on. And if you were to go out there and try to educate other people about what you're wearing, you have to understand what you're wearing. Because I know, like, we've started, with these new headdresses coming out, we've been using, we've been kind of, appropriating other minority groups and their clothing too.
That's a great point. I think that is a very, very good point. And I think that's where I think there's a lot of confusion where people are maybe upset that, oh, there are designers out there using this and using that, but they don't know the history behind it, and they're claiming it as something else, but it's something else.
Mm-hmm. The other thing is, most people can marry into the other hill tribes a lot, so you can't say it's appropriation or taking something if that person, the bride was from that hill tribe, right, from the Red Dao, and she married into a Hmong clan, right, and she incorporated her headpiece into a Hmong piece. You can't say that she's appropriating it because she is taking something from her tradition and making it something different. So that's why I'm going. It's really a fine line. You have to find.
Well, it depends on the history.
Yeah, it has the history. So the context is big. So sometimes you go like, I don't call out people on appropriation because the thing is you don't understand the context of how they're what's the history that's behind that design that's coming through, because it's it's another matter if you just sit here and you say, oh look, that's a nice new Hmong hat, and just buy it and resell it, right?
You don't realize that it's from like Red Dao,
and versus somebody who is his mother's the Red Dao, and she show her how to make it, right, and she's selling it because she's because she's incorporating her her mother's culture into making a hat. She's selling it to people here in America. To her.
But a lot of the young people don't know where these pieces come from. So I think we have to educate.
Yeah, it's education, right? And people asking. It's just like they say here in America, you have to know your food source. You have to ask. And some people don't ask. That's the thing. You don't know, or you're not willing to know or ask. Where did you get this new inspired thing? Did you just make it yourself, or was it from some other place? What's the origin, as they say, where they originated
from? Okay, that's good to know. Thank you for that piece of education right there. So I know we talked earlier about jobs. Do you ladies have a full-time job, or do you guys do this full-time? I know Shiso doesn't have a full-time job, but do you ladies do?
We have office jobs.
Yes.
I have office jobs.
Oh,
Yes, we have office jobs.
okay. Okay.
Medical insurance.
Oh yeah, she's in medical insurance, right? I work for a company hires like CNAs that goes into homes with clients or work into with the clients. And like I say, I'm amazed about our clients how much money they have.
네, 그때서요. 진짜 셔요.
Well, I'm a full time mom. I'm a full time teacher now too with COVID.
Oh
And
my
also I
gosh.
pay for my kids and all the other extracurricular activities that they do. We do practice, social distancing, but my kids are always doing other things too. So yeah, that's my full time job. I'm really really fortunate that I have a husband who supports me and lets me do my designing. So yeah.
That's awesome. Wow. Kudos to you ladies. Man, that's a full plate. That's an overflowing plate. I don't know if Shiso does this his free time. He has a lot of free time, it seems. Always fishing.
I'm just a fly on the wall. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anything you ladies want to share that our designers should know about becoming a designer and things like that? I think you guys, well, first of all, I think that all four of you guys are great designers. I think that you guys are probably the best we have out there. And whoever wins this competition that's lucky enough to work with you guys is very lucky, very fortunate. So I do hope that we get like a lot of submissions and see all their creativities out there. And I mean that genuinely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much for saying that.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I was like, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, you would never, the words of Hmong designer, right? And now it's like, you guys are a great example of that. And now we have like young people aspiring to be that too. So I'm really hoping in the future we'll have our own Hmong Vogue fashion magazine. Or do we have that already? And I just don't know.
There's not Vogue, right? But there's Vogue magazines out there already. I mean, like we have one model who started Home, Home magazine, and I think there's one. There's a couple out there, right? It's
but maybe we should start Hmong Vogue.
You can't say
I
that.
know, it'll be copyrighted.
You can start it, but
You guys should start a Hmong fashion magazine.
no, like the competition's already so much work. I mean, and we, to start a magazine too, right? It would be even, you have to have somebody who's willing to manage it, be the editor, and get on us because designers, right? Sometimes, right? It's like, oh, we just want to design. We don't want to, to write.
That's why we have and Ashley.
Our business
All right. Well, something to think about.
Well, I think another part of that is that, magazines are slowly becoming obsolete. Everything's going digital now.
That's
hardly
true.
do I even pick up a magazine off a rack anymore. Like I want everything at my fingertips. And I feel like this new generation, that's what they would want too. So I think what we're doing as of right now, we're probably going in the right direction, just bringing up aspiring designers and hoping that we really light a fire underneath them and then they really launch and become, the new thing for fashion.
Right.
And hopefully
most definitely
that could lead to not necessarily like, a book, but something like that.
Most definitely. So exciting. So exciting. Shiso, is there anything you want to add?
Well, we're going to be topping up of the hour here at 9 o'clock. I can't appreciate all y'all, the co-hosts, Lylena, Shane, Meng, to come on and have a chat. I was looking forward to seeing some comments, but it seemed like the audience is pretty shy. So the real question is, what are you? Huh? I can tell you who I am, but what about y'all? Mine looks like she's going to rob a bank or something.
Well, I'm not going to incriminate myself and say that. But I have no idea. I'm either a baseball catcher, a ninja, or I have no idea what I am. I'm like, hey, there's a mask. Let's
Sub-Zero?
just put it on. Yep,
Sub-Zero
I
from
could
Mortal
be that
Kombat?
too. Yep, that's right. I was like, I'm like somebody in a little game now, right? And that's who I am. Lylena, who are you?
Oh, I was just trying to channel something scary and so maybe a ghost or a ghoul. I don't know. I'm like running away somewhere.
Well, if you had on a white dress right now, you could be the corpse bride, or what is that
Oh my
movie
gosh,
called?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were actually. And Mingxing, what are you ladies?
I guess we're Japanese
You
Harajuku.
Lolita.
Lolita.
This is what she just sold at the anime conventions. We would make our own outfits and sell them, and we were, all so geared up and everything because I guess the Lolitas in Japan were the most fashionable people
At that during that
that
time.
time
Yeah.
period. They started very fashionable people. I'm like pretty amazed looking at their stuff.
You guys must have a lot of fun designing those outfits, you guys. Like just the creating, the sketching, and then putting it all together and bringing it into like reality. That must be so fun. And so
Well,
I'm glad, yeah.
guess what I am at? Guess what I am then? Any guesses out there, ladies?
He had the mullet on.
I thought he was a truck driver.
Shrug there with a-
That's a good answer, actually.
Since the demon is gonna come out, I'm gonna show you. That's gonna end of the show. Then I'll show you who I'll show you who I am actually, and then you know who I'm supposed to be. So, you guys
So
ready?
are you supposed to dance? Are you supposed to dance also?
Well, maybe I should do a little dance for you.
I think you should dance and see if anybody can guess who it is.
How about that? Upside down. You want me to do that? Upside down. How about that? You know who that is?
Yeah, a character from Bob's Burger. My nephew loves
Yeah.
that show.
Here, I'll give you a little show.
Yay! Oh my gosh! Thank you for being
No,
a good sport,
I'm not
buddy.
gonna do that. I'm definitely not gonna do that upside down. Well, hey, this is gonna end up the top of the hour. We can't thank our viewing this listeners on here, everyone that's on Facebook, checking us out, listening to us, sharing this. Thank you so much, and more importantly, our guests too. Thank you
Yes.
so much, Amy from the whole tribe, Coutour, Lylena Couture, too from Lylena, and of course, the Ninja, maybe Sub-Zero, my co-host, my pal.
Yes. Please don't forget to submit your submissions for the Collective Vision Fashion on Facebook. If you know anybody who is a fashion designer or who is aspiring to be one, refer them to the Collective Fashion Facebook page so they can submit that. But this is a great opportunity for everybody to get their foot in the door and start designing.
It seemed like we had a quick question that came in. It says, who are your fashion designer idols? Sure. I have that last question before you opt out. Go ahead.
Sure. My idols that I usually turn to when I'm like, stuck with a design, I usually turn back to designers like Elisab and Marchesa. I think those are my go-tos. Yeah, they really inspire me to keep designing and, pushing the limit of my boundaries.
Very nice.
A little different. We like Alexander McQueen
Alexander
McQueen and Gualpe.
Yeah.
I look at like Tom Ford and CK Kevin Kline. So that pretty much answers your question there. Well, again, shall we, ladies? Give them the deuces. It's the end of the hour. See ya. Thank you so much. Peace out. This is it for Roundtable. Much love.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good night.